You finally sit down. Nothing to do. No one needs anything from you. And within 30 seconds, you feel it. That quiet, nagging itch that you're doing something wrong. If resting makes you feel guilty, this isn't a discipline problem. It's a wiring problem. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly where it came from. It's a Sunday afternoon. The laundry's done. The inbox is at 0. For once, there's actually nothing you have to do. And instead of relaxing, your mind starts making a list. Emails you could answer early. That workout you've been meaning to do. Something, anything that would make this time count. Your body is sitting still. Your mind refuses to. If you've ever caught yourself doing this, you already know. It's not that you don't want to rest. It's that some part of you doesn't feel allowed to. Here's what's strange about this. It's not happening to people who have nothing going on. It's happening to people who get a lot done, people who show up, who deliver, who rarely let anyone down. The problem isn't a lack of things to do. It's that even with permission, even with free time sitting right in front of them, they still can't let themselves have it. So, if this is you, it's worth asking where the rule came from, because somewhere you learned one, and you learned it early. Block 1, where it starts. For a lot of people who feel guilty resting, it started at home, long before they had a job to feel guilty about. Maybe love and approval in your house weren't unconditional. They were tied to output, good grades, chores finished without being asked twice, being helpful, being no trouble. In a house like that, rest was never neutral. It had to be justified. You didn't get to just exist. You got to exist because you'd done enough to deserve a break. Some kids growing up like that become the responsible one, the one who helps too early, who notices what needs to be done before anyone asks. Not because they were naturally driven, because stillness come with a cost, and doing something was safer than doing nothing. That equation gets written early. And quietly, your worth is what you produce. Being still is what gets you in trouble. Nobody has to say this out loud for a child to learn it. They just watch what gets praised and what gets ignored. And stillness usually gets ignored. Block 2. The nervous system. Here's the part that isn't really about mindset at all. It's about biology. If you grew up needing to earn safety through being useful, your nervous system adapted to that. Not consciously. It just learned. Stillness isn't safe. Stillness is when I get noticed for the wrong reasons. So even now, as an adult, in a completely safe room, with completely free time, your body doesn't know that. It stays slightly activated, slightly on alert. Not panicked, just running a low background hum of, you should be doing something. This is why some people can lie down for an hour and stand up just as tense as when they sat down. You can be completely still on the outside and still bracing on the inside. It's not a lack of willpower. It's a nervous system that never learned stillness was allowed to mean safety instead of danger. Block 3. And the world you live in doesn't exactly correct this. It reinforces it. You're taught that rest has to be earned, that it's a reward you unlock after enough output, not something you're owed simply for being a person who exists and gets tired. Even leisure gets recruited into this. People don't just walk anymore. They track their steps. People don't just read, they read to improve themselves. Hobbies quietly turn into projects with metrics. And notice, even the things that are supposed to be restful end up turned into another kind of performance. That's not an accident. A person who feels guilty resting is easier to keep running. Guilt is an incredibly efficient motivator. It doesn't need anyone standing over you. You do the enforcing yourself. The twist. And here's the part almost nobody tells you. Guilt-driven rest doesn't actually rest you. If you're lying on the couch, but some part of your mind is still quietly working, planning tomorrow, judging yourself for wasting time, calculating what you should be doing instead, your nervous system never actually powers down. You've paused the visible activity. The internal cost keeps running the whole time. That's why you can spend an entire Sunday resting and still wake up Monday exhausted. You were never actually off. You were just off camera. Even the healthier-looking versions of this, reading to optimize, exercising to hit a number, meditating to be more productive at meditating, can be the same trap, just wearing a better costume. Rest that's still trying to prove something isn't rest. It's just quieter work. So what actually helps isn't a productivity hack, and it isn't forcing yourself to just relax. That never works, because you can't out-discipline a nervous system that thinks stillness is dangerous. What actually shifts things is smaller than that. It's noticing the moment the guilt shows up and naming it for what it is. Not evidence that you're doing something wrong, but an old rule firing on autopilot. Rest was never supposed to be something you unlock after enough output. It's not a reward. It's closer to breathing, something every person is allowed, simply because they're a person, not because they proved anything that day. You don't owe anyone your exhaustion as proof that you tried hard enough. You were never supposed to earn your rest. You were only ever supposed to need it.